Well, with just 2 weeks until the first presidential debate, Biden will reportedly hunker down for debate prep at Camp David. But as he jets off on his second Europe trip in 2 weeks, he faces a busy schedule here at home. Is it too much for him? Here to react is Fox News contributor and former Trump White House senior counsel, Kellyanne Conway. Hey, Kellyanne.
Hey, Ainsley.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. We're just seeing video of Joint Base Andrews, Marine One arriving there. He's about to head to Italy. There are reports now when he comes back from Italy, he's going to go to Camp David and hunker down and stay there for 10 days while he does his debate prep. The debate prep is 2 weeks from tomorrow. Do you think he needs that much time? What's your reaction?
He does need that much time. Remember, Ainsley, Hillary Clinton all but disappeared during debate prep as well. Sometimes she was at fancy fundraisers, but we didn't see her for days at a time in 2016. And Donald Trump stayed on the campaign trail. He was doing 5, 6, 7 stops a day at that time. I think that benefited him enormously because if you over-prepare, then you sound contrived. And in the case of Joe Biden, you lie. I think the news of the day coming out of the Delaware trial is that we now have a Department of Justice that's confirmed Hunter Biden's laptop is real. That laptop, the other tale, is not just that Hunter Biden is guilty of these 3 felonies in Delaware. It's that the Biden family is now connected through that laptop, hauling in at least $19 million that we know about, including $646,000 from a Chinese infrastructure firm by Hunter. Why is this important? Because, Ainsley, it was the debate stage with Joe Biden and Donald Trump where Biden lied to the American people in 2020 and said he had never discussed business with his son. His son did not get any money from China, and that 51 intelligence and national security officials claimed that the laptop that the Department of Justice under Biden now says is real was Russian disinformation. So I think Biden preparing is one thing. I wonder what's going to happen with him medically at Camp David for 10 days because we have no hard evidence that Joe Biden can stand anywhere, let alone at the podium, intimidated by Donald Trump feet away from him for 90 minutes without a teleprompter.
Yeah, it's interesting. I went back to watch the 2012 vice presidential debate. It was Paul Ryan versus Joe Biden. Joe Biden looks completely different. He sounds differently. He is understandably has much more energy. And Paul Ryan said, I've known Joe Biden for 20 to 25 years. He's just aged very quickly. He's aged a lot. The guy I debated 12 years ago is not the same guy we have today. What do you expect out of the next debate or the first debate, I should say, and how is President Trump preparing?
Well, President Trump will prepare the way he always does. He'll review the policies. If you look at all the polling, including a brand new poll coming out of Pennsylvania this morning, Ainsley, Pennsylvanians, Americans think they were better off under the Trump presidency than the Biden presidency. The Pennsylvania poll shows that. It also shows Trump winning that very tight swing state. If Trump were to win Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Arizona, this election's over. So that's the most important swing state right now for Trump. Why is this important? Because a lot of those questions that are being asked in the polls are the kind of questions that will be asked in the debate. And if President Trump gives everybody a binary choice and reviews the economy, the border, no new wars, crime even, quality of life, everyday affordability, national security, border security, financial security, fairness, if he reviews all of that versus Biden and lets Biden speak. My one piece of advice to President Trump, as somebody who was in the room in 2016 and 2020 in debate prep, is let Biden speak. Numbers seem to numb his brain, and if you let Biden speak, I think his lack of energy, acuity, agility, ability, transparency, and truthfulness will be on full display, and it will undergird what Americans believe in all this polling already, Ainsley, which is that Biden's not up to the job, and when he does the job, he doesn't do a particularly good one.
We've talked a lot about Virginia. Joe Biden won that state by 10 points, and now they're neck and neck. And look at Minnesota. There's a new poll that finds Trump with striking distance of Biden. Biden is getting 45%, and Trump is getting 41%. A Republican hasn't won there since Nixon, and that was in 1972, Kellyanne.
It's pretty remarkable. Obviously, Minnesota and Washington, D.C., the only states that Walter Mondale carried in 1984 in Ronald Reagan's landslide re-election victory. But Trump is expanding his map, Ainsley, as you pointed out. Minnesota, Virginia, possibly New Hampshire. Name one state, name one county where Joe Biden is expanding his map. They're trying to hang on to places like Nevada, a state that Republicans haven't won presidentially since 2004, 6 electoral votes, where Trump's cleared 50%. One thing in all these polls, Trump is doing very well, even in these states, among African Americans, Hispanics, union households, political independents, and young people. Joe Biden is bleeding these voters. I don't think debate prep is going to help with that because he's got to defend his policies, and those are out of line with America.
Okay, we're watching this live video. He is off to the G7 right after this. Thank you so much, Kellyanne. Great to see you this morning.
Thank you, Ainsley.
You're welcome.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.